Hello, Cancer, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of May 3rd through the 9th. And during that time, we mostly have a waning gibbous moon. We're coming off that high energy of the full moon, and a waning gibbous is about self-reflection and rebirth, a good time for us to make positive changes and get rid of our bad habits and negative thinking. We then have the last quarter moon that comes in on the 9th, and that's a really good time of inward reflection, a good time for us to, we're realizing our full potential on those things that we started for at the beginning of the cycle, and just really getting rid of negativity and starting to even think about what we might want to do when the next cycle starts to roll around. So please keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Cancer. So, as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is nothing will come of this situation. All right, let's see what the Cancer Collective has going on for this week. I feel like this was the same exact card that came up for Aries, perhaps. So if you're a cross watcher, you may want to look at the Aries reading if you have an Aries in your life. So you guys might be in the same situation or dealing with the same sorts of things. So, all right, Cancer, as I'm shuffling the tarot, my fun weekly reminder this week is that you take some time to meditate. So find some quiet time, still your mind and body, and just go within and see what happens. Just go explore. If meditation is something that you already do, then you know what I'm talking about. If it's not something that you do, it is a good practice to begin to try. And I feel like the moon energy of this week is really good for that. And that waning gibbous, you relax a little bit. We're not, hyper from the full moon, that sort of thing. It's a good time just to try to relax a little. So if you don't meditate, that's my fun weekly reminder, is that you try to work some of that into your daily schedule, or at least weekly. All right, that being said, let's get on with this reading. We've already got cards flying. Cancer, May 3rd through the 9th. Nothing will come of this situation. And your present energy right now, which came flying out, is the High Priestess card. So, our High Priestess here is about really paying attention to our intuition and also the universe, those signs, those signals, those mysterious things that happen, those truths that come to light that you're not even sure why, but it's definitely, the High Priestess is definitely embodies that kind of energy that you may have a dream and it's, like a premonition. I've done this quite a bit in my lifetime where you're like, oh, that can't be. And all of a sudden this thing just happens. So no one can explain to me why that happens. If you have an explanation, drop me a comment. But it's that sort of thing, like those intuitive knowings that from a dream, or just from a feeling that you have, or some sign, some way that you've read the universe. So that's your basic energy this week, is that you're kind of dealing with this intuitive energy. Your current situation this week is the Star card. So you also are, the Star card is about direction. It's about being on course, and it is about guidance, and it's about watching the signs from the universe and just knowing this. Like, I know that I have to go in this direction because I just feel it. And it's kind of a double whammy here, is having the Star card with the High Priestess. So there's something that you're really being pulled to do or act on or move in a particular situation this week. There's just something, and you can't even really explain why. It's one of those, there's no logic to it. It makes no sense because you're just really feeling it that deeply. At the root of your situation is the Nine of Cups, which now I feel like I've pulled him out in every reading I've done. You're the fourth reading I've done. And for this series of readings this week, I feel like I've seen him in every card. This is the card of just self-satisfaction and just kind of being happy with what's going on. Almost in your situation, I would say, like, you have this knowing about a thing, and you're going to either take an action or do a thing based on something, and again, it's kind of makes no sense. There's no logic to it. You just know it, and you're very satisfied with it. You're very confident about it. You're like, I just know that I'm supposed to turn right and not left because there's something good for me over here. There's something that's supposed to happen to me over here. And you're fine with it. In your recent past, here is the Seven of Swords. So there's might have been something that was going on for you that was some sort of hidden agenda. And Maybe that's in your recent past and it kind of brought you to just some new awareness where you're going to trust your own gut this time. Maybe you didn't back here, and it's taught you that maybe you had a feeling back here and you didn't follow it and didn't go with it. And now in this situation, you've got that feeling and you're like, I've seen this before. I recognize this and I'm going to move forward appropriately. What is on your mind this week is the Emperor card. So the Emperor is about, this is our most stable card in the deck. The Emperor is a builder and a leader, an authority figure, someone who does something in a very systematic way and is, about structure, but also about being very fair and being very resilient. Just someone who's qualified to do the job, and that's on your mind. So again, you've got this self-satisfaction. You're following this intuition, and it's because you're kind of leading the way. The Emperor has a really clear vision, and you do. Again, it's not logical, it's very intuitive, but you've got a clear vision of how something needs to go. What is just ahead of you this week is the four of wands here. So some sort of celebration, and I feel like maybe it's because you do make these right decisions and you do go in this appropriate way. Maybe for some reason you end up at some sort of celebration this week and you're not even sure why. It's almost like a friend calls, hey, I'm having this party, and normally you would be like, I don't think so. I'm not. I, I don't want to go to this. I'm not feeling social, and something is just telling you, no, you need to go. And maybe you meet a person there that is some sort of life changing for you, either personally or in your career, and you just know there's some intuitive like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go against everything that is logical. I'm just gonna go. I have to go, right? I have to go, and I'm satisfied with it. It's fine. That's that kind of feeling. It's like we're something. It's again, it's against all logic and all logic of how you would normally operate as well. In your advice position here is the Strength card, so we're going to be strong as we're doing this. And now we're seeing, let's see, that would be one, two, three, four major arcana. So this could be kind of a major pivotal week for you. Anytime I start to see three or four major arcana in one reading, some weeks are kind of just like ho hum. Things are life goes along, and then you get those weeks where it's like something is just a little more important to something that's going on in your life, or some change, some pretty good size changed for you. So keep that in mind. Listen to your intuition this week. Again, if it's telling you to turn left instead of right, then maybe go ahead and make that left turn, see what happens. What is beyond your control this week is the Three of Swords. So this might lead you to something, and that immediately made me come back to here. It made me come back to maybe that you're learning about something in your past because of your future. Some of you are going to know exactly what I'm talking about, that you're like, oh, it just puts it together. That you're like, oh, and it's kind of heartbreaking. You're like, maybe this, you weren't aware of this deception, and something in your path points you to this, but it does make you look behind you. And it's not something, and it's quick. I don't see that it's taking over your whole week. This is just beyond your control. And it's sword energy, so it's like information that comes in, and even though it's going through a heart, I also think of this card as kind of just like a mind, like you're like, what, I can't even believe that. It's like a disappointment, but it's also kind of a shock, more than it is emotion. It's just like your mind is just kind of blown that was the situation, right? And for some reason I feel like this is tied to this card in the past here. All right. Oh, I'm so sorry. I hit my camera there. What is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid? Well, I hope your secret desire is your ultimate happiness. It's one of the ultimate fun cards in the deck. Let me get my camera adjusted back here. There we go. The 10 of Cups is about your heart being full, happy family, happy life, everything. I hope that's your secret desire. I hope that's not what you're trying to avoid, but some people might be. Some people might just want to stay in their misery, I guess. But I hope that's your secret desire, and that's the place you're trying to get when it comes to listening to all of this, right? And what is in your outcome position is the Two of Cups. So coming together here in partnership with someone over this. This could be that you bond over this. Again, I feel like this is the situation from the path, and maybe this is the person, again, I said that maybe by attending some party or some social event that you might meet someone. And it doesn't even have to be romantic. It might be that you make a friend, or it could be that it's something having to do with, again, like a career thing or something. It's just someone that's going to change your life comes into your life because you've listened to your intuition this week. Um, And I think in a pretty big way. Again, I don't even see it as being romantic. I see it as more like, career or passion or somebody. It's just somebody that helps move the direction and focus of your life. So uh, take that as you will. And if that happens, please leave me a comment because I'd love to know. What is hidden from here at the bottom of the deck is the Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands is about nurturing some new passion. That's not something that you're doing this week. I don't feel like there's discoveries. I feel like there's something again that and you make a move on and you do a thing. And again, it's against all logic. Okay, let's get a final message. I have to go back because nothing will come of this situation was your overall message. And that just caught my eye again. And I feel like, again, this has to do with this. I feel like you're going to find out about maybe some sort of deception or something that happened to you in the past. And you're just like, oh, you kind of put it together, right? Nothing's going to happen out of it. But now you're at least the wiser, right? Oh, that's what happened. It kind of just brings in some kind of mental clarity. So, all right, let's see what the Soul Oracle deck says for you. Let's wrap this up with a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck for Cancer, May 3rd through the 9th. Okay, and the card for you is to face your shadow. So, this could be something that you're learning. Again, I feel like this past situation, and there's nothing you can do. It's like it's already said and done and gone, and it's water under the bridge and whatever. But again, it's kind of like like it just brings some sort of clarity. It just makes things make sense. All right, what do you need to do in the way of self-care this week, Cancer? Self-care this week for Cancer, and the card for you is to speak up. If you avoid conflict to keep the peace, you start a war inside yourself. So if you avoid conflict to keep the peace, you start a war inside yourself. I'm going to go back to this situation. You may need to speak up about this. And maybe it's this person. Maybe it has something to do with that person that comes. And maybe it's just a sharing of, yeah, this thing happened to me in my past. It is what it is. Da, 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 da. If you avoid conflict, keep the peace, you start a war inside you. So speak up. Maybe this person needs to know this information for whatever reason. This is going to make sense to somebody out there. Again, if you're comfortable sharing, drop me a comment and let me know. Otherwise, Cancer, good luck with this reading. Again, remember that tarot is a template, so this is templating over some energy. Sometimes it's very hard to pinpoint the exact situation, but many of you are going to hear this and you're going to be like, oh, yeah. I mean, that's what happens to me when I hear tarot readings. I'm like, as soon as they say certain words, it kind of triggers into a particular situation in my life and it does start to make sense. So hopefully it's doing that for you in this case. Otherwise, once again, if you're comfortable sharing, drop me a comment and let me know if it resonated or if you have questions, I'd be happy to answer those for you. Also, if you like my reading style, hitting like and subscribe is very helpful to me. I appreciate that so much in advance. So thank you so much for doing that. It'll help you find me next week. Come on back and let's see where your story goes. So thanks so much, Cancer. Good luck. See you next time. Bye bye.